it's Cheryl
and Nikki
with Serene Bebe, and we are here to talk all about birth plans. You should have gotten a birth plan worksheet in the email that this video link came in. This is very geared towards our doula on demand service, which is, do you want to explain?
So our doula on demand service is where clients are able to get a doula on demand. Either they schedule that ahead and they have a link to our online calendar, or they're able to call us when they are in labor, either at a birth center or at the hospital, and the doula will come to them as needed.
Yeah, and so doula on demand has the benefits of being a little more accessible price point wise, and also doesn't have all of the prenatal components. We have a doula calendar where a bunch of doulas from our team are primary and secondary on different days. And on the day that you go into birth, or that your induction is scheduled for, or your baby is going to be born on, you look at the calendar and you're able to say, hey, so-and-so is going to be my doula today. And you're able to call her and she's ready to be there and ready to support you. So with that service, we like to give you some resources to do on your own so that you get the most out of support, including making a birth plan, or as Nikki often calls it, birth preferences.
Since it's really hard to plan for birth.
Really hard to plan for birth. And so our goals for you when you're making this on your own are to keep it positive, keep it concise. You don't want to go too in depth. You want to keep it like short and sweet, and you want to make sure most of all that it's flexible, and that's that preferences part. Because there's no way to ensure that any one thing 100% does happen or any one thing 100% doesn't happen, except for keeping you and your baby safe. And so those are the things that
and personal too.
Yeah, and to keep it personal. Yeah, and that really, I think, makes it the something that we can stick to. It's a good tool for your doctors, your nurses, your midwives, and your doula to be able to have to read this one page. It'll take them like probably 2 to 3, 4 minutes, 5 minutes at the absolute most, and to read that, and
it's not overwhelming.
Yeah, and to be like, oh, I know how to make sure that this mom gets what she needs. So this is an example plan that one of our clients actually made and allowed us to share. And the things that are in it are
goals, fears, labor, pushing, postpartum, and those unexpected circumstances.
And so that's going to help you to be flexible and to share and keep it personalized. So do you want to share some of these
goals?
I'll
go over some of these goals. So this client's goal was to schedule an induction for 39 weeks, to have a safe delivery for mom and baby, and she really preferred medicine after birth to prevent bleeding, which probably had something to do with the circumstance previously or another birth. Some fears that she wanted known: not being heard. She really wanted to be listened to by her doula and her caregivers. And then she also worried a little about going into labor early, or what we hear as preterm birth.
Yeah, so before her baby was ready. And so we usually recommend putting 2 to 3 things maximum per category. For labor, she picked 2 big priorities.
So respect for our privacy and modesty, and quiet support in background, more support if requested. So this kind of shows some diversity, that doulas can kind of change their roles as needed.
Yeah, to customize that support to the mom. And so that's a really important thing to put in your doula on demand kind of plan, is how do you feel best supported? So she wanted that support ready and there for her, kind of quiet in the background, but like ready to step forward to provide more maybe hands-on support or more vocal support if she needed it. So she felt like she would be able to say, hey, I need this. Which I think when you've had a baby before, you really are able to kind of look back and say, oh, I, was asking for this, or I needed this. For pushing, she had 2 big priorities.
So follow instincts for pushing positions. She wanted to be able to push in any position that she felt comfortable in or needed to be in at that time. The doctor to help minimize or prevent tearing with perineal support.
Yeah, and so perineal support is the doctor providing kind of some physical reinforcement on her perineum, so supporting around the birth canal to help those tissues to stretch over and around baby and to allow baby to be born without or with minimal physical damage to her body, so less likely need for stitches and things like that. And so that's a great kind of thing to put on a birth plan, is like, here's what I do want, rather than I don't want this, I don't want this, don't want this. Like, what do you want the most of?
And then postpartum, she wanted the big sister to visit with the newborn first, as soon as she was able to do that. And then she would like her baby exam at bedside, skin to skin, and then to nurse the baby, and possibly with help of a lactation consultant or doula.
And so for unexpected circumstances, they were very much on the cautious side. Some people want to wait, explore all of their different options, and some people are going to want to intervene sooner and be kind of more preventative. Neither one's wrong. Your doulas are going to support you no matter what you want. But she wanted to share that, and the way that they stated it was, we prefer to be on the cautious side and do interventions early if concerns arise. I think she also had a really strong relationship with her doctor, so a lot of trust there in their recommendations. And then another big priority for her was for her husband to stay with her no matter what. I think that's related to some of the concerns from her previous birth of maybe them being separated, and that just made her feel really secure. So the plan was, if her baby was born early or did need some intervention, that the doula might go and help be with her baby through that, and her husband might actually stay with her until she was also able to go. So hopefully those are some good examples of how you can like customize your birth plan to you and share your priorities. All right, thanks for listening.
Bye.